Are you unhappy with your current state in life? Are you so upset that people in your life have made things so unhappy for you? If this is you, please stay tuned to the end of this episode and I'm going to show you exactly how to take responsibility for your own happiness to turn your entire life around from a negative to a positive. Good evening. I want to talk to you today about take responsibility for your own happiness. Now, when you take responsibility for your own happiness, magical things begin to happen in your life. Your life will begin to flourish almost like a flower, almost like a rose. Because see, when you take responsibility of your own happiness, see, that's going to put you 16 steps ahead of other people in life. Because see, most people in life, they don't take responsibility for their own happiness. Most people in life, they have to blame somebody else. They have to blame their kids. They have to blame their parents. They got to blame the traffic. They got to blame the preacher. They got to just blame somebody. They just have to always somebody has to be the center of the blame. But see, what they don't understand is they're actually the center of the blame why they're unhappy in their life. And see, it's imperative that you take responsibility for your own happiness in life, because if you don't, your life won't go according to plan the way how you want it to go. Because see, you are the architect of your life. You are also the architect of your happiness, and nobody in life deserves to be unhappy. Every single person and every single living creature and being on this planet deserves to be happy. What does taking responsibility for your own happiness mean? So when you take responsibility for your own happiness, what that means is that regardless of what situation is going on in life or whatever you are going through in life, you're not going to let anybody else's unhappiness bring you down to their level. So when you take responsibility for your own happiness, it's like a certain essence, it's a certain glow that you'll start having about yourself. Because see, a lot of people, they don't take responsibility for their own happiness. A lot of people out there, they blame other people for them not being happy. Oh man, it's my kids' fault I wasn't happy. Oh, it's my parents' fault I wasn't happy. Oh, it's this person's fault at the red light that made me late to work and got me fired. Oh, I'm not happy. See, that person there who is blaming everybody, they haven't taken their own happiness into their own hands. So the people who take responsibility for their own happiness are going to be the people who do whatever it needs to be done in life to make sure they always remain happy. So I'm going to give you a prime example of taking responsibility for your own happiness. So a few weeks back, I had a client call me and request my services. So I flew out from Tennessee out to Ohio and I went to go help this guy named Clint. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. His name really isn't Clint. It's something else. But, you know, for the sake of privacy here, I want to just call him Clint. When I got out to Clint's office, I started listening and talking to Clint. And he started having like blame game issues. So what his issue was, he doesn't really know how to talk to people, so he hasn't really been getting a lot of sales in his real estate practice. So that's the reason why he called me out. So when I got out to his office, he was basically blaming other people for him not being happy. He was like, oh man, it's my client's fault. All my clients suck. All this happened. As we're sitting here talking, I'm reclining back in the leather chair. I'm just looking at him while he's talking, and I'm thinking in my head, damn, Clint, he hasn't taken responsibility for his own happiness. Clint, he thinks it's the client's fault why he's not happy. He thinks it's his wife's fault why he's not happy. He thinks it's his kid's fault why he's not happy. He hasn't taken responsibility of his own happiness yet. So once he got done, you know, kind of laying into everybody except for himself. So I'm like, Clint, the problem is you're blaming everybody else, buddy. You know, the only person I have not heard you blame for the things that you're not happy about in life are you. I have not heard you one time, Clint, say anything about yourself. Blame the way your parents raised you. And this right here made you not happy as a kid. You blame the way how your teachers treated you. You blame this bully in school. You blamed everybody, Clint, for your unhappiness in life. But what part of your unhappiness in your life have you partaken? You just haven't taken responsibility for your own happiness, Clint. He thought about it for a second and he was like, damn, Tony, you are right. It is my fault. I guess if I really think about it, Tony, the reason why didn't get that closing because I woke up late. I had some red lights to go through in which that made me miss my customer. Once I started talking to Clint about accepting responsibility for his own happiness, Clint's whole world began to change. The first step to taking responsibility for your own happiness is going to be you need to admit your faults and the reason why you're not happy. So for example, let's just say if you are in a relationship with somebody and then you're not happy. Did the person force you to get into the relationship with them? Did the person, drag you down and say, hey, you're mine and I'm going to just lock you to me? 99% of the time, the answer is going to be no. You were a willing participant in being with this particular person right here. So by you being a willing participant in being with this person, if you are unhappy with this person in your relationship, then that means you partook in that. So all you have to do is just exit the relationship. Simple as that. See, that's how you take responsibility for your own happiness. Anything in life, most of the time, if you're unhappy about it, 99.999% of the time, you had something to do with it. Normally it doesn't happen where something just boom happened and it made you unhappy. Normally you have had something to do with it. It could have been little small actions that you have taken 2 years ago that brought up to speed what's going on today and that made you unhappy. See, if you just really sit back and think about it, and see, this is going to be step 2. If you really sit back and think about why you're unhappy, just deconstruct it, the reason why you're unhappy in life, and I guarantee you, once you assemble all the pieces back together, your picture is going to be right smack dab in the center of that puzzle. Your face, your picture, not anybody else. But the thing is, in order to take responsibility of your own happiness, you have to admit your wrongdoings. And you have to always know that it is your job to take responsibility of your own happiness. If you're not happy with your job, go find something else. Now, I don't advise to quit before you find something else because, you don't want to put yourself and your family in a, financial situation. Life is too short to be unhappy. And see, a lot of people want to be unhappy because they think it's a term of endearment. It's actually not. In life is meant to be happy. Life is not meant to be unhappy. Life isn't meant to be a struggle. Life isn't meant to always be a fight. Life is meant to be smooth as peanut butter on a piece of light bread. That's life. But most people make life unhappy for themselves, but they just don't want to admit it. But it's okay. But if they really sit back and think about it, why their life isn't unhappy, like I talked about earlier, their face, their picture will always be in the center of that puzzle. Remember, be on the lookout for my new book, Turn Any Customer into a Superfan, which is set to release on March 20th, 2023. So join the waitlist to receive a free copy of the book even before it comes out. Just click the link in the description to snag your free copy. And that about wraps it up for today's episode. Until next time, I'll catch you later.